This is a podcast.
The Lakers had answered the challenge with one of the greatest comebacks in playoff history. They hadn't come far enough. LA still trailed by 2 points, but would have one last chance in the final seconds.
Now Ori out front, 10 seconds. Kobe Bryant against Christie. Kobe Bryant on the move against Christie. In for the right, flips his shot up, no good. O'Neal lays it up, missed it. Ball tipped out to Ori, a straight on three. Good! The Lakers have won! Robert Ori's greatest hits tour continues.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's got to be getting a Grammy for that one.
I think a lot of us on the bench are trying to figure out if the ball had really gone in. We were trying to figure out if the clock had expired, if his foot was on the line, but it was another classic Robert Horry finish.
Robert Horry's miracle not only tied the series, it added more fuel to this already simmering rivalry.
Everybody could make that shot. You know, that's last shot. It's just like lucky shot. That's all. You don't need to have a skills or some, you know, in that kind of situation. You just throw it and if it goes in, goes in.
Robert, Vlade was saying that it was basically just a luck shot. That situation, you just have to throw it up. Was it luck or was there more to it?
It wasn't no luck shot. I've been doing that for all my career, so he should know. He better read in the paper or something.
I hate Robert Horry to this exact day. But guys, welcome back to the best 1 hour of your week. My name is Tyler Butler. I don't have my right-hand man next to me today, but he will be tuning in later. And you are now rocking with the best on Enough with the BS podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in from whatever platform you may be tuning in from, whether it's Spreaker, Facebook, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or any Ed Squad or Doug Stewart radio outlet. Now, today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a little painful. Those for anybody who were a big NBA fan back in the day. I really think all of us were Sacramento fans at one particular point of our lives. But I got we're going to get into it. It's so much to go over. I've been doing this show for about a month, just researching and all kind of stuff. But it's here. I got a special guest with me today. And you know what? I'm going to bring him in right. I'm going to walk you up to the plate, my man. Give me 1 second.
Nice.
And my special guest for today is my brother. Been that way for how many years now?
God, man, like 17, 18 years?
17, 18 years. You guys hear me talk about him all the time. Adam Jones. Adam, welcome to the podcast, my man.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Pretty much you were the one that gave me this idea for the show. And it took me forever to research, and I apologize about that, but we got it here. Let me know pretty much what gave you the idea that this would be a good idea.
So basically, I stumbled upon part of a documentary on YouTube by a user named NFL Ranking, and it had been featured on several ESPN platform shows, but then it was taken off of YouTube by the NBA, and the whole focus was that it wasn't chance that the Sacramento Kings lost the Western Conference Finals that year.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, and I'm telling you, once we start getting into this stuff, it's literally going to blow your mind because I have pages and pages worth of stuff because I don't want to miss out on anything. And just talking to you before we even started the podcast, you was mentioning some stuff that I didn't even know and completely glossed over. Definitely going to try to get Josh because Josh is a Laker fan. But before we get him on the podcast, man, just want to give you guys a backstory. Me and Adam were Sacramento King fans.
Huge.
Big. We used to play NBA Live.
I loved it.
That's Mike Bibby and Lawrence Funderburk.
Yep.
That game 6, we were in your living room.
Uh-huh.
Was Renzo there?
Yeah.
Renzo was there. We were so hyped until that heartbreaking, devastating last shot.
We were silent. We didn't even say a word.
That was the longest ride back to my apartment. We all got in the van. Renzo was eating it up. we didn't say nothing. I couldn't even believe that might have been my first heartbreak from sports.
Oh yeah, it killed sports for me. Like I was never able to put my heart into sports again like that.
Yeah, oh my God, it was hard. Also, guys, later on the show, I'm going to try to get my man Ditti from Inside the Mind of Ditti podcast on ESPN Upstate. He, if I'm not mistaken, lived in Sacramento during that time. And he also interviewed a very key figure, which we're going to talk about later in today's podcast. Let me see if I can get Josh on the line. Let me see if he's available. Because I have to start it off with a Sacramento fan and a Kings fan. It only makes it right to discuss. Brought to you by Sprint.
Hello.
Jay, what up, man?
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, Josh?
Hey, we just wanted to start everything off, man. We just kicking off the podcast.
Okay,
and
okay.
Everybody know you are a LA Laker fan. And we just introduced the fact. We introduced the fact that Adam was a Sacramento fan. What do you guys remember the most about that series? And Josh, I started off with you first.
I just remember the Lakers destroying the Sacramento Kings.
All right.
I mean, we were just opposite bottom, better than the Sacramento Kings. I mean, that's what I remember. I remember us capping off another championship season. That's all I remember.
Spoken like a true Laker fan. That's all I remember. So what I remember is that the series was actually, it felt lopsided at first. So the Kings were up 3-1. They had control of the series, and it felt like it was going to be a pretty easy path to the championship. And that's why I think it was so heartbreaking, because no one saw it coming.
Nobody.
And so I think for the first few games, the Kings looked like they had surpassed the Lakers. It looked like, okay, well, they are the better team now. And they have good chemistry, and they were hitting threes like crazy. And then I guess it was game 5 that everything changed.
Yes.
And each subsequent game became like a battle.
Game 4 was
when
they got screwed. We'll get into that as well.
So what you're saying is, the NBA got together and said, oh, no, we can't have this one team win another championship. That's what you guys are saying.
That's exactly what happened.
So essentially, the gist that I've understood from what Donaghy said, he was basically saying that
he's a convicted felon.
For fixing games, exactly what we're talking about. So we know it happens. He proved that. But he was basically saying that the NBA, they like certain referees that know how to take a hint, and that they know that certain teams will be better for revenue if they make it to the finals. That they like big market teams in the finals. And Sacramento was about the smallest market team you could have in that time. I don't know, maybe Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But the gist was that they...
Excuse me. What's the capital of California? Does anyone know? I'm just saying, it can't be a small market team if they're the capital of the entire state. Los Angeles isn't the capital, guys.
They are.
Just saying.
Okay, Columbia is the capital of South Carolina, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that is correct.
Columbia a bigger city than Greenville?
Population
it is.
The capital. I mean, if you're the capital, you're not a small market. You can't be.
Springfield is the capital of Illinois. When you think about the state of Illinois, do you automatically say Springfield or Chicago?
Doesn't have a basketball team. Springfield doesn't have a basketball team. I'm just saying, we can't write off Sacramento like they're just this little hometown Cleveland Cavaliers kind of thing.
But it is, though.
It kind of is. Chris Webber is notorious for saying that there's nothing in Sacramento. Nothing other than basketball.
I don't believe it. Chris Webber's, no. I don't believe it.
You don't believe anything Chris Webber has to say, who played for the Sacramento Kings.
He cheated at school. I can't believe it. It's like Donaghy. You guys are taking the word of a convicted felon. I'm just saying. Like,
It's not that we're thinking the world. We just realize he's saying, I fixed games, I covered spreads for the mob. He was mob connected. He was telling us that it happened. And so we're just like, we don't think he was the only one doing it.
I mean, I will agree. That series, it was a little weird. Probably shouldn't have won the series. I'll agree. I'll admit to being a serious sports commentator. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have won the series. But you got to make shots and you got to make baskets. I mean, the referees are out here making baskets for us. So
I think that's another thing they cover pretty well on that documentary is that they were talking about the foul disparity in the second half of the last.
Yeah.
And
40
or they would show like it's the classic like Kobe elbowing Mike Biddy in the face.
Oh man!
and it's just nothing like. But
Jay, you got it. We're gonna wrap it up here. You got anything you want to end it off?
Nah, but to be honest, you did good work, Tyler. I mean, I think the whole world knows it was probably, a fix. Me being a Laker fan, I just can't believe it. I just can't buy into it. But again, you did good work, and I mean, the real sports fans, people probably know. So.
Nah. I appreciate it, Jay. I'll see you later, man, for our second show of the day.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right.
All right, everybody. That was, you already know who that was. That was Josh Smith, co-host of Enough with the BS podcast, a.k.a. Super Laker fan. But I want to go ahead and break everything down. Even with that discussion that Adam and Jay just had, we've gave you a little snippets of pretty much all the craziness that happened within this series. So when you got to break down such a big thing like that, man, you got to get some type of law to this story.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Yeah, and do we have a story for that ass today? The first nugget I would like to share with you guys is the Sacramento Kings have literally been getting screwed. They've been getting screwed since their existence. Opening day. If you guys didn't know, back in 1985, it was the first year that the NBA adopted the NBA lottery draft. That was also the first year of the Sacramento Kings. But Adam, the big prize possession in that draft was who else?
Patrick Ewing.
And, Sacramento, as we just discussed, is not the biggest attraction in California.
Nope.
And David Stern being, a guy from New York. And not only was he from New York, he was a New York Knicks fan.
Die hard growing up.
Die hard. Why have the biggest star in the NBA go to the Sacramento Kings where he could go to the New York Knicks instead? Mm-hmm. But I know you guys are thinking like, well, how in the hell could they do that? How can you set up the draft? Well, this is how you can set it up. Right here. Pretty much. Point blank period. At the time, David Stern was the commissioner of the NBA. And just like any other business, you have to do what's good for business. Mm-hmm. A lot of our listeners are wrestling fans. I know you hear Vince McMahon say that all the time. It's what's best for business. It's like that in the business world. What were you saying earlier about that business?
Yeah, that billion-dollar industries don't leave anything to chance. That they fix what they can and they manipulate what they can't. And I don't find sports any different than that. I feel like there's too much money at stake. There's too much money to be had to leave everything to pure chance. But I think that hurts your casual sports fan because that's what they thrive on, is believing in that it's just pure chance and skill versus skill.
Which, if you guys really look into it, that's never the case in any type of business. There's always some type of backhanded deals going on.
Sure.
Patrick Ewing to the Knicks, LeBron to the Cavs. To me, LeBron beating that